All right, so good evening. Good evening and welcome back to JPCE WachDog News. This is Chair Wesley Campbell. If you're new here, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay updated on our latest investigations into unexplained and hidden truths. So this evening, we're going to talk about unidentified glowing orbs in the sky. We're going to take a deep investigation into government secrets, historical texts, and also some biblical references. So lately, there's been these mysterious glowing orbs that have been appearing in the skies, hovering silently, darting across the atmosphere, and vanishing instantly. Witnesses describe them as pulsating spheres of light, moving at speeds beyond conventional aircraft, and with no visible propulsion systems. These sightings, reported from around the globe, have ignited a global consultation. Are these orbs part of a classified government projects? Could they be extraterrestrial probes? Or are they supernatural entities connected to biblical and also prophetic warnings? The world is watching. We're here to delve into this awesome mystery. So join me as I delve into the past, analyzing recent sightings, uncovering declassified government files, and examining ancient texts, including the Bible, the Book of Enoch, and other biblical texts, to determine what these glowing orbs are. The answers may lie in our history, waiting to be discovered. But let's begin by recent sightings of glowing orbs. So the recent sightings, right? Airline crew spots orb over the Bahamas, December 2024. The location, the Bahamas, it was at 40,000 feet. Right? The witnesses, airline pilots were en route to Fort Lauderdale. Right? Description, the pilots reported seeing a brightly glowing sphere moving erratically, executing maneuvers that defy known aviation physics. The object was visible for several minutes before disappearing to the clouds. Source, the NBC Miami. Pilots report mysterious orb in the sky. So number 2, Fraser Coast, Australia, January 2025. Right? Recent. Location, Fraser Coast, Queensland. Who were the witnesses? The residents. Description, multiple glowing orbs moving in synchronized formations. Wow. Some orbs vanished instantly, while others hovered for several minutes before accelerating out of their sight. Source, carrier mail, UFOs over Fraser Coast. Now I'm going to kind of dip into government investigations and some declassified files, right? So these glowing orbs aren't just catching the attentions of civilians, right? They've been monitored by the military intelligence agencies for decades. Wow. We'll start with Project Blue Book, 1952 through 1969, the U.S. Air Force UFO program. I talked a little bit about this last night. So, first point, the U.S. Air Force investigated thousands of UFO sightings, including orbs of light reported by civilians and military personnel. Many cases still remain unexplained, especially when glowing orbs demonstrated intelligent movement with extreme speeds. The 2021 Pentagon UAP report. The Office of the Director of National Intelligence, ODNI, they released a report admitting that some UAPs displayed advanced flight capabilities beyond human technology. Some objects were described as glowing orbs with no visible propulsion system. Okay? CIA report, glowing sphere objects. A recent declassified CIA document discusses UFO encounters where glowing orbs interfered with aircraft electronics. The report suggests an unknown intelligence controlled the orbs. I think that's interesting. Source, CIA declassified UFO files. Right? Let's get to our biblical understanding and historical explanations, including the Book of Enoch, which I find a very interesting read. I study theology. So, biblical and historical explanations, including Enoch. But what if these glowing orbs aren't just a modern phenomenon? The Bible and the Book of Enoch record similar luminous objects, often described as divine messengers, angels, manifestations, or even celestial watchers. So I'm going to share the screen over real quick, and we're going to read from the Bible from Ezekiel. Right? So I want you guys listen attentively. Right? This is the only thing I'm going to pull up on the screen. Right? So here we go. So here in Ezekiel chapter 1, verses 15 through 21, listen to me as I read it. You'll see it on the screen. And it says, "Now as I look at the living creatures, behold, the will was on the earth beside each living creature with its four faces. The appearance of the wheels and their workings was like the color of beryl. And all four had the same likeness. The appearance of their workings was as if were a wheel in the middle of a wheel." So let's read that again. Their appearance of their workings was as if it were a wheel in the middle of a wheel. When they moved, they went toward any one of the four directions. They did not turn aside when they went. As for their rims, they were so high, they were awesome. And their rims were full of eyes all around the four of them. When the living creatures went, the wheels went beside them. And when the living creatures were lifted up from the earth, the wheels were lifted up. Whenever the Spirit wanted to go, they went, because there the Spirit went, and the wheels were lifted together with him, for the Spirit of the living creatures was in the wheels. Interesting. We're getting somewhere, right? When those went, these went. When those stood, these stood. And when those were lifted up from the earth, the wheels were lifted up together with him, for the Spirit of the living creatures was in the wheels. Wow. Beautiful. So I'm going to stop the share. All right. Let me get back. Now we can talk. All right. So we read Ezekiel chapter 1. Right. So there in Ezekiel, if you're with me, it was describing a wheel within a wheel. Right. Shining brightly and moving toward the heavens. Beautiful. The description resembles modern reports of what glowing, rotating orbs exhibiting intelligent movement. It's awesome, right? It's awesome. And verse 18, right? It said their rims were high and awesome, and all four were full of eyes. Beautiful. Now let's move on to the Book of Enoch, right? So the Book of Enoch is an ancient Jewish text, not included in the biblical canon, but highly influential in early Christian and Jewish thought. It contains multiple references to glowing celestial objects, heavenly luminaries, and supernatural beings. The Book of Enoch is awesome. So in 1 Enoch chapter 18, verses 13 through 16, the luminaries of heaven. There, Enoch is taken on a journey by an angel, right? And shown luminaries that move in the heavens. These celestial objects appear to move in organized cycles, glowing with their light. So let's read 1 Enoch chapter 18, verses 14 through 15, the R.H. Charles translation, right? Make a note of it. I encourage you all guys to research, right? And it says, "I saw the luminaries of heaven, which move in cycles, shining brightly, never departing from their appointed paths. And I beheld how they did not transgress against their ordained course, but follow their commands faithfully." There's different translations of Enoch too, right? All right, so let's move on. What I just read is telling us reports of glowing orbs moving in patterns as if following a predetermined intelligence or some type of cosmic order. In 1 Enoch chapter 19, verse 1, the watchers and their fiery forms. This one was interesting. The passage will describe a class of fallen angels, the watchers who descended to earth. They are described as manifesting in a fiery, luminous form. So here you go, 1 Enoch, chapter 19, verse 1, R.H. Charles translation. "And Uriel said to me," so Uriel is an angel, so Uriel said to me, "These are the angels who forsook their high heavens and took on different form. Now they appear as bright flames moving across the sky, bringing knowledge forbidden to men." Sounds like the watchers taking on the form of fire and moving across the sky is highly suggestive of some orb sighting described as sediment lights or energy-based entities. You guys be the judge, right? In 1 Enoch chapter 75, verse 3, the stars as sediment beings. In early Jewish cosmology, stars were often considered intelligent entities rather than celestial bodies. Wow. Some UAP researchers believe glowing orbs might not be machines, but conscious beings of light. I have an extended report, so stay with me. In 1 Enoch chapter 75, verse 3, the R.H. Charles translation. Heaven's stars and luminaries know their places, and they walk in obedience following the orders of the Most High. What's my analysis there? This aligns with the idea that some orbs could be angels or celestial entities that move with divine purpose rather than random physical objects. Well, let's move on to my extended report before we get to my closing points. So my extended report, I'm going to cover scientific explanations. Are these orbs plasma-based? Listen attentively. Most mainstream scientists dismiss the supernatural, it's true, but have theories about natural luminous phenomena that resemble glowing orbs. Plasma physics and ball lightning. Some scientists believe glowing orbs could be a form of natural plasma. It's similar to ball lightning, a rare, floating, glowing energy form sometimes seen during storms. Interesting. However, ball lightning typically lasts only a few seconds, while many orb sightings last minutes or even hours. It's important discovery there, right? What was my source? American Physical Society, Plasma, Orbs, and Nature. Now we're going to talk about earthquake lights, and tectonic activity. This one I found interesting. I took a geology class when I went to my small community college, so I find this interesting. So it says some glowing orbs have been linked to seismic activity. Mysterious glowing lights have been recorded in the skies before scientific. Back up, I apologize. Mysterious glowing lights have been recorded in the skies before significant earthquakes, including China, Peru, and Italy before devastating earthquakes. Source: Electromagnetic Effects and UAPs, the Nature's Journal, right? I came up with a question. Could some of these orbs be a natural but still mysterious Earth phenomenon? Or are we witnessing something entirely different? You guys be the judge. Next point, intelligence leaks and whistleblower testimonies. What if someone in the government already knows what these orbs are, but isn't telling us? But what if they are? David Grutch is a whistleblower on non-human UAPs. This is in 2023. So in 2023, former U.S. intelligence officer David Grutch testified before Congress, claiming the U.S. has recovered UAP craft of non-human origin. When asked if these crafts had pilots, he responded, non-human biologics were recovered. Source: his congressional testimony in 2023. In 2004, the U.S. Nimitz Tic-Tac UFO encounter. Navy pilots chased a glowing white orb over the Pacific during military exercises. The object moved without propulsion, traveled at hypersonic speeds, and dropped 80,000 feet in under a second. Wow, that's awesome. This encounter was caught on military radar and infrared videos, right? My source was U.S. Navy confirms 2004 Tic-Tac UFO. My question is, why does the government continue to classify UAP reports? Do they already know what these glowing orbs are? Interesting, right? My next point, Project Bluebeam. Talked about this last night. Could these orbs be part of a psychological operation? They could be. All right, listen attentively. Project Bluebeam is a controversial conspiracy theory, right? Think of the facts, be objective. That suggests governments might stage a fake extraterrestrial or divine event using holographic technology to create mass panic or even to establish a new world order. Glowing orbs could be early test or advanced projection or drone-based illusions to control public perception. Probably. My source, Project Bluebeam Theories, declassified CIA documents. My question was, could some glowing orbs be part of a larger scale deception operation, preparing the public for something much bigger? My next point, could these orbs be AI-driven drones? Many military analysts have suggested another possibility, highly advanced AI-controlled drones that move in ways humans cannot replicate. DARPA's AI-driven Skyborg drone swarm program. This was interesting. The U.S. Air Force has developed autonomous AI-powered drones that can operate independently of human pilots. Skyborg drones can fly in formations, make instant tactical decisions, and even adapt their movement in real time. No kidding. If military AI-controlled drones exist, could these glowing orbs be classified as a highly advanced versions we aren't meant to know about? My source, DARPA's Skyborg program. My question was, are these glowing orbs not extraterrestrial or divine, but the next phase of AI-driven warfare? You guys be the judge. My last point, orbs in ancient cultures beyond the Bible and Enoch. I found this interesting because I like to do this type of studying. So I've covered biblical references and even the Book of Enoch. But what about other ancient cultures? Hindu Vedic texts. So the Vedic texts of ancient India describe glowing flying objects that were said to be used by celestial beings. Some of the texts describe orbs of light descending from the heavens and flying across the skies with great speeds. My source, the Vedic texts and ancient flying objects. Even ancient Mayan and Aztec records. Listen attentively. Mayan carvings depict orbs of light descending from the sky. Wow. Often associated with deities or cosmic travelers. Wow. Some scholars believe the ancient Mayans saw glowing aerial phenomena and interpreted them as messages from the gods. My source, Mayan astronomy and celestial phenomena. Great reads. My last question before I get to my closing thoughts here. Why do multiple ancient civilizations report glowing orbs as part of a divine or extraterrestrial encounters? So before I close out, here's my conclusion. So what are these orbs? Government data? Check. This confirms that military intelligence agencies are studying glowing orbs, but lack full explanations. Biblical and Enoch texts? Check. Suggests that these orbs could be divine manifestations, angel beings, or celestial watchers. Scientific theories? Check. Range from experimental military craft to natural plasma phenomena or extraterrestrial probes. Here's my final thought, though. Are we witnessing classified technology, ancient prophecies coming to life, or something beyond our understanding? What do you think these glowing orbs are? Your thoughts and insights are crucial to my investigation. Drop your thoughts in the comments and let us unravel this mystery together. So thank you all again for following. Please subscribe, stay tuned for more of my investigations. If anyone has any ideas, please give me ideas, things I can research, search out. I love doing this work. And I'm always here for you guys. I love you all so much. And I'm always will be objective and truthful to all of you. Just give me that chance. Share out my videos too. I love you all so much. This is WachDog News, Jared Wesley Campbell. I'm signing off. Good night, good evening, have a blessed evening. I love you all so much.